I'm Mr. Bo and welcome back to another Destiny video. In today's video we're going to be discussing the House of Wolves expansion, which is due to release Q2 this year, so roughly around May, and we're going to be discussing what this expansion needs to have in order to keep people playing Destiny, as the Dark Below didn't really satisfy people's needs to play the game, and if we get a repeat of the Dark Below, then I know a lot of people are going to stop playing Destiny altogether. So let's talk about the Dark Below quickly, talk about what it did right and what it did wrong. So what it did right, well, it gave us a really awesome raid in the form of Crota's End. However, it was a little bit shorter than the Vault of Glass, and I know a lot of people preferred the Vault of Glass to Crota's End, but it was still a pretty solid raid. We also had an alright strike, which is actually better than some of the ones in the game. I definitely prefer it over the Archon Priest, that's for sure. It then gave us a few story missions, which weren't really any better than the ones we had in the actual game, and it gave us something which was actually really cool, and I wish they'd have done more of, and that is the quest line with Eris. They were actually really fun. Hopefully we get some more of that in the House of Wolves. We then got 3 Crucible maps, but in order to actually play these you have to go into a Crucible playlist, and these aren't actually in the normal rotation. Also, it didn't do a very good job on the armor, because if you wanted to get to level 32 you had to get the new raid armor, and your old raid armor was just left redundant. So let's talk about what the House of Wolves needs to do and what it needs to change from the Dark Below. So firstly, let's start off with those story missions. We need to have some more in-depth missions that actually make us want to learn about the story and lead up to something big. I know they tried to make it lead up to the Crota's End raid at the end, but we didn't really have any context in the form of cutscenes or anything like that, so it didn't really feel like it was leading on. If they were just to add some cutscenes between each of the missions and just before the raid, that would tie the whole thing together a lot better. Now, something I really liked in the Dark Below was the quest lines, and I'd like to see that expanded on more in the House of Wolves. Give us just a load more. We had one quest line which was about 5 or 6 missions, maybe it was just a little bit more, but they were really fun, and to be honest, it was a lot better than the normal story missions we had, and it was one of the best things in the Dark Below, to me at least. So give us more quest lines and give us a better reward for doing them. We got this piece of armor which wasn't even available to get you to level 32, so it really wasn't worth using. I just dismantled it as soon as I got it. But it was cool nonetheless, so give us something a little bit more, give us armor that will actually get us to that max level, or give us some sort of exotic weapon. Moving on to the raid now. Now we know it's going to be called the Arena, and from that we can guess a lot of different things about it, and I have actually done a video on that already, and I'll leave a link to the one where I talk about what I'd like to see in the Arena, as well as a video of what you guys would like to see in the Arena, so you can click on those and they will take you over to those. But briefly, give us a better boss encounter. The boss encounter in the Vault of Glass and Crota's End is always just wait for the boss to stand there, shoot him, hide, run back, run forth, and it's just really boring. It's just either go on the left side or go on the right. Give us something where the boss actually comes and attacks us. Also, make the raid as long as the Vault of Glass, because Crota's End is pretty short for a raid. I want to make it more challenging and make it longer, like the Vault of Glass, and give us some more puzzles and challenges like that we saw in the Vault of Glass, like with the Gorgon's Maze and the jumping stones. And now for Crucible. So we know that we're going to be getting the Trials of Osiris event, which is going to be kind of cool, but with the Crucible maps, if you're going to split them up into separate playlists like you did with the Dark Below, then give us some new game modes to play them on, because to be honest, I don't want to play the same game modes on those maps when I can play them on all the other maps. Give us like Capture the Flag, Oddball, King of the Hill, something more fun to get us to actually play those 3 new Crucible maps in this certain playlist. Otherwise, I'm just going to go into Skirmish or Rumble on the other maps instead. Now with the armor, they have already said they are going to be addressing this and they are going to be fixing it. We have yet to find out how, but make sure the current armor that we have, the level 32 raid armor, stays relevant, so that we're not forced to just get rid of it and get the new raid armor to get to level 34. I know they've started to do this with the Iron Banner stuff, we can buy that to get to level 32, so they'll probably increase that. Perhaps the Trial of Osiris gear will get you to level 34 as well. Just give us a lot more armor to get us to that max level, because everyone in the raid armor doesn't look good, and it doesn't actually make you want to be the max level because you don't want to look like everyone else. I'd rather be a lower level and have completely different armor to everyone else. And that is pretty much what I think the House of Wolves needs to have in order to keep people playing. Just a lot more content and a lot more variety not just the same stuff that we saw in the dart below. Of course, I'd love to hear your comments on this. What do you think the House of Wolves needs to keep you playing Destiny, or are you already gone and not going to be playing Destiny until Destiny 2 comes out? Let me know in the comments below. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to give the like button a big old hug. If you missed my previous video in which I talk about how trading could be implemented into Destiny if it needed to be, and also you can click the links in the description below that will take you to what I want to see in the arena raid, as well as what you guys want to see in it. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm Mr. Bo, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.